So the other day I was playing Halo 3, and I thought to myself, what would have happened if Noble 6 was in Halo 3? So that's what we're going to answer today. Let's get started. Before we get started, this obviously takes place in the exact same timeline as the other videos, and honestly I think it's time we give it a name. From now on, I'm going to be referring to this timeline as the Umbra timeline. Right off the bat, there's already a significant change in the timeline. Because Noble 6 is also falling from the sky with Master Chief, her famous speech about John would have also included Noble 6, and I believe it would have gone something like this. They let me pick. Did I ever tell you that? But before I chose you, I watched him. He was a ghost, a shadow that made entire worlds go silent. I watched him on Reach, the way he moved, the way he carried me through the fire when everything else was burning. He wasn't just a soldier, he was an end, efficient, cold. And I noticed something. He was at his best when the odds were at their worst. But as I watched the two of you, I saw the difference. You know me, I did my research. Watched as you became the soldier we needed you to be. You were like the others. Strong and swift and brave, a natural leader, but you had something he didn't, something no one saw but me. Can you guess? Luck. Was I wrong? After this, the beginning intro plays out exactly the same. Sergeant Johnson is sent out to retrieve both Noble 6 and Master Chief. Obviously in the cutscene where Sergeant Johnson locates Master Chief, Noble 6 would have been close by. After both of them get their armor recalibrated and unlocked, Master Chief would have told Sergeant Johnson what happened to Cortana, and how she stayed behind so that they could escape and she could stop the flood. From here, the cutscene with the Arbiter obviously changes. In this timeline, while Master Chief is talking to Sergeant Johnson about what happened to Cortana, Noble 6 would have been the first to see the Arbiter. As soon as the Arbiter deactivates his active camo, Noble 6 would have done exactly the same as Master Chief. He would have grabbed a pistol from one of the Marines and headed straight towards the Arbiter. But instead of putting the pistol right under the jaws, like Master Chief did, he would have instead tackled the Arbiter to the ground and pointed the pistol right at his face. This is because Noble 6 is shorter than both Master Chief and the Arbiter, so it makes much more sense that he would have tackled him to the ground. Master Chief would have reacted just as quickly, and he would have grabbed an assault rifle from another Marine and would have pointed the weapon at the Arbiter. Here's where Sergeant Johnson would have intervened. And instead of saying,
Chief, wait! The Arbiter's with us! Come on now. We've got enough to worry about without you two trying to kill each other.
Were it so easy.
he would have said, 6, Chief, wait, the Arbiter's with us. Come on now, we got enough to worry about without you two trying to kill him. The Arbiter's dialogue does not change, and he simply responds, were it so easy, as he pushes Noble 6 off of him. He then tells them that they have to move and that the brutes have their sense, and the mission begins. The start of the mission does not change, except for obviously having Noble 6 here. So, Master Chief, Noble 6, and the Arbiter push through the jungle alongside the Marines and Sergeant Johnson. Once they reach the area where they spot the Phantom flying overhead, here's where I believe Noble 6 would have told Sergeant Johnson and Master Chief that he will scout on ahead to locate the Covenant. Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson quickly accept the plan. Master Chief tells Noble 6 to be careful since he only has a magazine in his Magnum. Noble 6 tells him that he will, and Noble 6 quickly starts climbing a ridge to get a better view from the high ground. Just as he reaches the top, the Arbiter would have called out his name. As Noble 6 turns around to see the Arbiter, he quickly catches an object that the Arbiter threw at him. It takes him half a second to realize what it is. He then ignites an energy sword and looks back at the Arbiter. The Arbiter simply tells him that he's going to want that back as soon as they reach the base. Noble 6 simply nods at the Arbiter, and the Arbiter returns the nod. Noble 6 deactivates the energy sword and disappears over the ridge. From here, the mission plays out exactly the same. You take control of Master Chief and you fight your way through the Covenant alongside the Arbiter. That is until you get to the part where the Marine is captured by the Chieftain brutes.
They're en route, Chief, but I can't raise Bravo. If you find them, get them to the extraction point.
Show me its location.
Kiss my...
Here, Noble 6 would have jumped out of the tree and would have killed the brute with the energy sword that the Arbiter gave him, saving the Marine in the process. Once the Arbiter, Master Chief, and Noble 6 clear out the Covenant, Noble 6 informs Master Chief that Sergeant Johnson is waiting for them at the LZ, and that he came back when Sergeant Johnson told him that Bravo Squad was not picking up their comms. After that, the rest of the mission plays out exactly the same. Master Chief still gets the visions from Cortana, and they reach the LZ where Sergeant Johnson is waiting for them. Once they reach the LZ, the same thing happens as in the original timeline. Sergeant Johnson's Pelican gets shot down, and this time Noble 6, Master Chief, and the Arbiter have to go rescue him. And basically the mission plays out exactly the same after this point. Nothing much changes except for obviously having Noble 6 there, so we can move on to the second mission. Right off the bat, the cutscene for the second mission does in fact change drastically, simply because Noble 6 is alive, and also Captain Keyes, aka Admiral Keyes in this timeline, is also alive, so a lot of the cutscene does in fact change. For example,
Sorry for the tight squeeze. Tell the commander her ace is in the hole.
Hey, check it out. No way. A Spartan?
For real, you better not be.
Oh man, he's here. We're gonna be
Where
all
did you
right.
find him?
Napping, out back.
I'll bet. It's good to see you, Chief.
Likewise, ma'am.
Let's get you up to speed.
the first part that would change would be what the air traffic control says. He would have instead said, "Tell the commander her aces are in the hole," followed by the Marine saying, "No way, Spartans," followed by the same Marine saying, "No man, they're here, we're going to be alright." Miranda would have instead asked, "Where did you find them?" Sergeant Johnson would have responded exactly the same. And at the end, Miranda would have said, "It's good to see both of you." And she would have said, "Let's get both of you up to speed."
The Prophet of Truth's ships breached the lunar perimeter, smashed what was left of the home fleet.
This statement by Miranda changes completely in the Umbra timeline, simply because Admiral Keyes, aka Captain Keyes, would have probably been in charge of the home fleet. So instead of saying smash what was left of the home fleet, she would have probably instead said, "and pierce through the home fleet."
Terrestrial casualties from the subsequent bombardment were extreme. Truth could have landed anywhere, but he
Fun fact, the reason why the Arbiter is staring at the two medics who are taking care of that one Marine is because in Sankili culture, it's practically much unheard of to receive medical assistance, especially if you were wounded during battle.
committed all his forces here, East Africa, the ruins of New Mombasa. Then they started digging.
What about Halo?
We stopped it, but only temporarily. Now the Prophet of Truth is looking for something called the Ark, where he'll be able to fire all the Halo rings. If he succeeds, humanity, the Covenant, every sentient being in the galaxy.
The rings will kill us all.
Ma'am, I have Lord Hood.
Patch him through.
Good news, Commander Keyes?
Good as it gets, sir.
So I see. What's your status, son?
In this part, Lord Hood would have asked, "So I see. What's your status, boys?"
Green, sir.
Glad to hear it. Commander's come up with a good plan, but without you, I wasn't sure we could pull it off.
Obviously here, Lord Hood says, "But without you two, I didn't think we could pull it off."
Truth's ships are clustered above the excavation site, and his infantry has deployed anti-aircraft batteries around the perimeter. But if we neutralize one of the batteries, punch a hole in Truth's defenses...
I'll initiate a low-level strike. Hit him right where it hurts. I only have a handful of ships, Master Chief. It's a big risk, but I'm confident.
This dialogue also changes significantly, simply because, as we've mentioned before, Captain Keyes / Admiral Keyes is still alive. So, Lord Hood would have instead said, "I'll initiate a low-level strike, hit him right where it hurts. We still have a somewhat functional home fleet, but it's still a big risk. I have confidence in both of you before the power cuts out."
Hell, not again.
Emergency generators, now!
Shielding failed. They're down and charging.
As soon as they're up, re-establish contact with Lord Hood. Let him know...
All of you vermin, cowering in the dirt, thinking, what, I wonder, that you might escape the coming fire? No, your world will burn until its surface is but glass, and not even your demon will live to creep, blackened from its hole to mar the reflection of our passage, the culmination of our journey. For your destruction is the will of the gods, and I am their instrument.
Cocky bastard just loves to run his mouth.
Does he usually mention me?
And in this dialogue scene, Truth would have said, "And not even your demons will live to creep, blackened from their holes." And in this dialogue, Master Chief would have said, "Does he usually mention us?"
Give the order, we're closing shop.
Ma'am?
We're about to get hit.
All personnel.
The wounded.
Defense Code Alpha
We're getting
1,
all of
prepare
them
for
out.
Immediate
I'll
evacuation.
have to carry him myself.
Ma'am, squad leaders are requesting a rally point. Where should they go?
To war.
After Miranda's weird motivational speech, I believe the cutscene would have continued, and it would have shown Noble Six handing over the energy sword that the Arbiter gave him, and once more, both of them would have nodded to each other. After that, the mission begins, and the mission plays out basically the same. Master Chief, Noble Six, and the Arbiter would have defended the base from Covenant forces, while the Marines evacuate the injured and themselves. After that, they would have detonated the bomb, and would have moved on to the second part of this mission. Master Chief, Noble Six, and the Arbiter would have pushed their way through the Covenant forces using brute choppers, ghosts, wraiths, warhogs to get as close as possible to the Covenant anti-air defense, and along the way they would have picked up a small army of Marines to help them in the final push towards the Covenant anti-air defense. Master Chief, Noble Six, and the Arbiter make their way towards the Covenant's anti-air defense, and they fight alongside Marines that they were able to rescue along the way. As they are fighting through the buildings, Master Chief notices just how well he works with both Noble Six and the Arbiter, and he remembers what Noble Six told him when they were on board the Forerunner dreadnoughts. Noble Six told Master Chief that inside of the Halo ring in the library, when he was retrieving the index, he fought an elite like no other, and that his name was the Arbiter, the same elite that the Gravemind had captured. He tells Master Chief that the battle was very intense, and had it not been interrupted, he does not know who would have won that fight. Master Chief, now looking at how the Arbiter fights, is unsure if he is also able to eliminate the Arbiter with ease. As they finally make their way towards the outside of the corridor, Lord Hood tells Commander Keyes if Sierra 117 and Spartan B312 are in position. Commander Keyes simply tells Lord Hood that both of the Spartans will get the mission done and that she has faith in them. After this, the rest of the mission plays out exactly the same. Master Chief, Noble Six, and the Arbiter take out the final AA wraiths and eliminate the Scarab. The only thing that changes is the final cutscene after they are able to destroy the final AA turret.
All ships, fire at will.
This is the way the world ends.
Now, the first thing to change in this cutscene would probably be that Lord Hood would not be the one to directly order the ships to fire at will. While he is in charge of all the defense forces of Earth, there is another one who is probably more skilled and in a better position to lead the strike force. And on that point, the strike force would probably be more than just the ships that we see in the cutscene. It would actually be a proper strike force with other ships, and we'll get to that in a second. But the one who would be leading this strike would probably be Captain Keyes, aka Admiral Keyes. Remember, he is still alive in the Umbra timeline. Lord Hood would have told Admiral Keyes that he has green light to commence the operation, and in turn, Admiral Keyes would have told the ship captains that they have green light and to fire at will. Now, the second thing that would have changed would have been the number of ships for this operation. Because Admiral Keyes is still alive in this timeline, it's most likely that they would have been able to reduce their casualties, and they would have still had a somewhat functional home fleet. And for this strike force, they would have been able to use other ships. I truly believe that they would have had at least one Marathon class, a couple of destroyers, plus the frigate classes that we see in this cutscene, giving us a grand total of roughly around 7 to 8 ships. And that would be the only significant changes to this cutscene.
did Truth just do? Did he activate the rings?
No, sir. But he certainly did something.
Evac wounded and regroup. Wherever Truth went. Sir, new contact slipping in.
What is it? More brutes?
Worse.
The flood. It's spreading all over the city.
How do we contain it?
Find the crashed flood ship. Overload its engine core. We either destroy this city or risk losing the entire planet.
Do it.
Chief, make your way to the crash site.
As Master Chief, Noble Six, and the Arbiter fight their way through hordes of Flood and try to get to the Covenant ship to start its reactor, Admiral Keyes tells Lord Hood if he has permission to start orbital bombardment. Lord Hood simply asks if that's really necessary. Admiral Keyes tells that he has seen firsthand how fast the Flood could spread, and that Commander Keyes, his daughter, Miranda, has also seen how deadly the Flood is. Miranda tells Lord Hood that it will probably be best to start orbital bombardment and stop the spread of the Flood before they lose the city. Lord Hood takes a second to respond and simply tells Keyes to do it. Admiral Keyes simply tells Lord Hood that he will get the mission done. And throughout the level, you're able to hear and see ships dropping missiles and MAC rounds into the city. As they make their way towards the Covenant ship, Master Chief starts to receive stronger and longer visions of Cortana. Noble Six, for his part, starts to notice that at random moments, Master Chief slows down, just for a couple of microseconds, something that a normal human would probably never notice. He is unsure whether to ask Master Chief if he's alright, but at the same time, he fears that his armor is probably having a malfunction and that Master Chief requires an engineer. So, he opens up a private channel and asks Master Chief if he's alright, that he has noticed that he seems to slow down at random moments. Master Chief takes a second to respond, since he is not sure if his armor has been compromised or if it's all in his head, and he is not sure if he should tell Noble Six the truth. But just as he finishes that idea, he remembers that both Noble Six and himself have been fighting non-stop since the fall of Reach, and they've barely had a couple of days of rest. And during all of that time and all those battles, Noble Six has been next to Master Chief. He has become a brother in arms, and even though Noble Six is not one of the Spartans he trained with, he trusts Noble Six as if he was, and he knows that if he's been compromised or the armor, somebody has to get the mission done, so he decides to tell Noble Six the truth. Master Chief tells Noble Six that ever since they arrived on Earth, he's been having visions of Cortana, and that he is unsure if it's inside his armor or inside his head. And ever since the Covenant ship with the Flood crashed on Earth, the visions have gotten stronger. Noble Six takes a second to respond, before telling Master Chief that if Master Chief feels he is unable to complete the mission, or that he's been compromised, to let him know, and that he would complete the mission, and let Master Chief rest, and that humanity needs the Master Chief more than they need Noble Six. Master Chief interrupts him and tells him that humanity needs both of them, and that it's their mission to protect humanity. With that, both of them continue on forward, fighting through the Flood and trying to get to the Covenant ship. Just as they're about to arrive to the Covenant Flood ship, Sankili ships arrive in the area, and that they inform humanity to stand back and that they will take care of the Flood. Admiral Keyes quickly sends a transmission to the shipmaster and informs him that he's already begun orbital bombardment, and that he does not have permission to begin glassing of the area. The shipmaster simply tells Admiral Keyes that he knows who he is, and that both of them know how dangerous the Flood could be, and that the missiles that Admiral Keyes is using and the MAC rounds don't guarantee the elimination of every single Flood spore, and that the only way to cleanse the area of any Flood is to begin glassing the area. Admiral Keyes hates to admit it, but he tells the shipmaster that he's probably right, but that he needs to get approval from his superiors. The shipmaster tells him angrily that they don't have time for this, that every second that they waste, the Flood continues to grow, and that they reach the point of no return, and that the Flood will consume the whole planet. Once again, Admiral Keyes knows that the shipmaster is right, so he tells the shipmaster to commence glassing of the area, and that the strike force will cover them and commence cleanup of the area. With that, the Arbiter, Noble 6, and Master Chief group up with a squad of elites, who inform the Arbiter of the situation. As they are getting closer to the ship, Miranda tells them that the elites inform them that they are looking for something, and that she and Admiral Keyes find it hard to believe. That's when Sergeant Johnson interrupts the conversation and tells Noble 6 and Master Chief that it's Cortana, and that she is in the ship, and that they have to find her immediately. With this, Master Chief and Noble 6 look at each other, nod their heads once, and quicken their pace towards the Covenant ship. As they finally reach the entrance of the Covenant ship, the Arbiter tells Noble 6 and Master Chief that he will wait outside with his elites, and that he would make sure that no Flood enters the ship. With that, Master Chief and Noble 6 enter the ship and start searching for Cortana. As they enter the ship, both Master Chief and Noble 6 could hear the voice of the Gravemind inside their heads. Master Chief turns around to look at Noble 6, and Noble 6 says, "I also heard that." With that, they push on through and finally find the recording of Cortana.
Chief.
Cortana?
High Charity, the Prophet's holy city is on...
Cortana!
Reclaimer. I must act quickly before your construct suffers any further
Wait.
trauma.
Leave her alone.
If we do not take this device to a safe location, somewhere I can make repairs.
On Halo, you tried to kill Cortana. You tried to kill me.
Protocol dictated my response. She had the activation index, and you were going to destroy my installation. You did destroy my installation. Now I have only one function: to help you, Reclaimer, as I always should have done.
Very few things change in this first part of the cutscene, one of them being this dialogue. 343 Guilty Spark would have instead said, "Reclaimers." And here, Master Chief would have said, "On Halo, you tried to kill Cortana. You tried to kill us." And the last dialogue to change is this one. 343 Guilty Spark would have said, "Now, I only have one function: to help you, Reclaimers, as I always should have done." The next part of the cutscene changes quite a lot, simply because there's going to be one more person that's going to be present during this whole conversation, and that's going to be Admiral Keyes. Now, instead of showing you the full cutscene and telling you which parts change, I'm going to be doing it as the cutscene plays along, simply because it's going to take too long if I divide everything up, and this way we save a little bit of time.
Perhaps one of our technicians.
That will not be necessary.
Chief.
Success!
High Charity, the Prophet's holy city is on its way to Earth, with an army of Flood. I can't tell you everything. It's not safe. The Gravemind, it knows I'm in the system.
It's just a message.
Let it play.
But it doesn't know about the portal, where it leads. On the other side, there's a solution, a way to stop the Flood, without firing the remaining Halo rings. Hurry, Chief. The Ark. There isn't much time.
I'm sorry.
No matter, Oracle. We've heard enough. Our fight is through the portal, with the brutes and the bastard truth.
Fine. We'll remain here. Hold out as long as we can.
Did you not hear? Your world is doomed. A Flood army, a Gravemind, has you in its sights. You barely survived a small contamination.
And you, shipmaster, just glassed half a continent. Maybe the Flood isn't all I should be worried about.
One single Flood spore can destroy a species. Were it not for the Arbiter's Council, I would have glassed your entire planet.
Here is where Admiral Keyes would have interrupted the conversation, and he would have told Lord Hood that their best option for survival is to go through the portal with the elites and try to find the solution that Cortana mentioned, and that simply staying on Earth and holding out as long as they can is suicidal versus the Flood. Here's where the Lord Hood would have responded in anger, and he would have told Admiral Keyes that he hasn't forgotten that he authorized the elites to commence glassing of the area without his approval. and that while the majority of the civilian population had already been evacuated from the area, there were still UNSC forces there. And by him authorizing the glassing of the area, he has sentenced them to death. And the death of those UNSC forces was on Admiral Keyes' hands. Admiral Keyes takes a couple of seconds to respond, and he simply stares at Lord Hood, before responding in a neutral tone. When the Covenant arrive in system or to a planet, they are the harbingers of death. But even then, you're able to draw a defensive line, you're able to evacuate civilians, you're injured, and if you're lucky, your forces. You're able to escape the world that they are going to glass, and live to fight another day. But against the Flood? If the Flood arrive in system or to a planet, it's simply oblivion. There is no stopping the Flood. There is no defensive plan. There is nothing you could do against them. The Flood were on Earth for a couple of hours, and we had to glass part of a continent just to stop this small force. If a full army of Flood arrives on Earth, then it's over. There is nothing that we could do to stop them. For every Flood that you kill, 3 more takes its spot. For every soldier that we lose, it becomes a weapon that the Flood could use. I hesitated to allow the shipmaster to commence glassing as soon as he arrived, even if it was just a couple of seconds. That hesitation cost us to lose more land, to lose UNSC forces. Had I been quicker, had I let him commence glassing from the start, I could have saved those lives. Their deaths will always be on my hands, not yours, sir. If you truly believe holding out on Earth against the Flood force is the best decision, I will follow your orders, sir. Just know, when they arrive, it will be the end of humanity. With that, Admiral Keyes turns around and leaves the meeting.
Sir, with respect, Cortana has a solution.
Cortana? Did you see her condition? How damaged she is? She could be corrupted for all we know. Her solution could be a Flood trap.
We should go through the portal. Find out for sure.
What we should do, Commander, is understand, clearly, that this is humanity's final stand. Here, at Earth. We go, we risk everything. Every last man, woman, and child. If we stand our ground, we might just have a chance.
No. If your construct is wrong, then the Flood is already won.
I'll find Cortana's solution, and I'll bring it back.
And Noble 6 would have simply added, we'll both go.
Earth is all we have left. You trust Cortana that much?
Here, Lord Hood would have said, Earth is all we have left. Do you two really trust Cortana that much?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Both Master Chief and Noble 6 would have responded exactly the same.
This is either the best decision you've ever made or the worst. Hell of it is, Chief. I doubt I'll live long enough to find out which.
Here, Admiral Keyes and Noble 6 would have also been present alongside Miranda and Master Chief. As all of them are walking down the ramp, Miranda asks Admiral Keyes why he didn't get on the Pelican with Lord Hood and return to the home fleet. Admiral Keyes continues walking before responding, and he tells Miranda, Master Chief, and Noble 6 that Lord Hood and himself had a private talk, where Lord Hood explains that the remaining human government would not spare any more ships, especially the Strike Force, on a what if, and would not allow anyone else to go through the portal, and that they're only willing to risk one ship. He also tells them that Lord Hood gave him a secondary mission, and that is to wait in the area and recover all remaining UNSC forces, and then go back to the home fleet. But there was something else. Lord Hood told him that some of the captains in the ships might believe that the answer lies through the portal, and that they might follow the elites and Commander Keyes through the portal. And if that were to happen, he's been authorized to follow with the Strike Force and bring back the ship and court-martial the captain. It takes a couple of seconds before Miranda asks Admiral Keyes if she is free to speak. Admiral Keyes simply nods his head. Miranda asks Admiral Keyes if the rest of the ship captains know of this order. Admiral Keyes simply tells her that all of the captains have been informed, and it does not matter which captain goes through the portal, they are to bring him back and have him court-martialed. Once again, Miranda starts thinking, and then simply looks at Admiral Keyes and says he is going to be the ship to follow through the portal, isn't he? Admiral Keyes simply smiles and heads down the ramp to the second Pelican that is waiting to take him back to his ship. As elite ships go through the portal alongside the UNSC ship forward onto Dawn, Admiral Keyes informs his ship and the rest of the strike force that he is going to go through the portal and support Commander Keyes. He tells any UNSC personnel that do not wish to go through the portal that they have enough time to get to an escape pod or to a Pelican and abandon the ship. As his ship gets closer to the portal, the rest of the strike force is hot on his tail. One of the captains of the strike force tells Admiral Keyes that they have been ordered to arrest him and that he is to turn command over to his first officer and await a Pelican that is going to pick him up. Admiral Keyes simply tells the captain that he's getting interference from the portal and that he was unable to receive his last message. With that, they continue forward towards the portal. Admiral Keyes notices that no escape pods or Pelicans have left the ship. He turns around to look at his first officer, who simply nods his head. Admiral Keyes then gives the order to go through the portal. The rest of the strike force is right behind them. The captain that originally contacted Admiral Keyes tells the rest of the strike force that they are to go through the portal and have Admiral Keyes arrested. And from here we move on to the second part of the cutscene when they all arrive at the Ark. The elite ships alongside Forward Unto Dawn were the first ones to arrive at the Ark, as in the original timeline. Shortly after, Admiral Keyes and the rest of the strike force also arrive. Admiral Keyes tells the strike force to get into formation. The captain that originally talked to Admiral Keyes tells him if he believes they were able to fool humanity. Admiral Keyes simply tells him that it doesn't matter, that they're all probably gonna die on the Ark, and they simply have to get the mission done. With that, the rest of the cutscene plays out exactly the same and the battle in space begins.
Good line. Shipmaster, they outnumber us 3-1.
Then it is an even fight. All cruisers fire at will. Burn their mongrel hides.
The shipmaster then contacts Admiral Keyes, and he tells him that he knows who he is, and he was impressed by how well he was able to maneuver his ships and in the defense of Earth. He tells him that it would be an honor to have him fight by his side. Admiral Keyes simply tells the shipmaster that he never believed the day would come when he would fight side by side with an elite. With that, Admiral Keyes ends the transmission, and the Sangheili fleet and the strike force fight side by side against the Covenant forces.
True ship isn't taking part in the attack. He must have gone to ground.
Roger that, ma'am. We're on him. Kick the door.
Hocus?
She's a little crook, Sergeant Major. She'll hold.
All right, pop the hatch.
Master Chief walks towards the exit of the Pelican, where Noble 6 is already staring at the desert below. When Master Chief gets close to Noble 6 turns around and stretches out his hand, asking for the sniper rifle. Master Chief tells Noble 6 if he is sure. Noble 6 tells him that he is, and that he's a better leader than he is, and that the troops need someone that they could follow. Master Chief tells him that he is just as capable as himself. Noble 6 tells him that some of the troops had seen him without his helmet and his armor when they were making their journey from Earth to the Ark, and he tells him that some of them were uneased with just how young he was. Master Chief tells Noble 6 that he understands, remembering how it was the first time his Spartans started to fight side by side with UNSC forces, and he also remembers that to this day, certain forces within the UNSC dislike the Spartans. That's when he notices that the ODSTs on his Pelican is actually Raven Squad. He smiles to himself knowing that he's fighting side by side with people who have been with him since Alpha Halo. Master Chief hands over the sniper rifle to Noble 6, and he tells him not to worry about what the other UNSC forces are thinking, that he's been fighting with them since the fall of Reach, and that all of them would follow him to the doors of hell if he asked. He also tells him that for the next ground operation he's going to be leading the troops, since Noble 6 also needs experience leading ground operations. Master Chief hands the sniper rifle over to Noble 6, and he tells him to cover them from the high ground, while the Arbiter, the troops, and himself push through the Covenant forces on the ground. Noble 6 simply nods. Master Chief then asks Noble 6 where the Arbiter's at. Noble 6 tells him that he's running a little bit late, but he should be here with a Phantom full of elite forces. With that, the mission begins. Now, the reason why I do believe that the Arbiter would have come in later with a Phantom full of elites is simply because this is a joint operation, and during the events of Halo 3, even though a great portion of the Sangheili forces have turned against the Covenant, we never actually see them fighting against the Covenant. It's always just the UNSC that is fighting this Covenant force. Especially here in the Ark, there's a lot of Sangheili ships that are fighting the Covenant ships in space, so it would make sense that they would have at least a couple of ground troops helping the UNSC stop the Prophet of Truth. The rest of the mission basically plays out exactly the same, all the way up until the point where they clear an LZ for the ship. Once the ship lands and Miranda tells Noble 6 and Master Chief the plan to get the cartographer, and they disembark the Scorpions, the shipmaster would have also contacted the Arbiter and told him that he has sent a couple of Phantoms with wraiths on them to help them against the Covenant forces. And now our convoy is comprised of Scorpions, Wraiths, Ghosts, and Warhogs that are fighting the Covenant forces. The rest of the mission is exactly the same, all the way up until the point where they fight the Scarab. Once all of them fight the Scarab, it's a combination of the Scorpions and Wraiths who are able to destroy it with ease because they have a much bigger convoy. After this, the rest of the convoy waits outside while Master Chief, Noble 6, and the Arbiter go inside to retrieve the cartographer. As they fight their way through the Covenant forces, and just before reaching the cartographer, they find a group of brutes in a semicircle with a brute chieftain in the center. The Arbiter quickly tells Master Chief and Noble 6 that the brute chieftain wants a duel, a 1v1. Noble 6 simply asks, once they defeat the chieftain, will the rest of the brutes simply leave? The Arbiter starts to laugh, and simply tells them that regardless of the result, the rest of the brutes are going to try to kill them. Noble 6 then tells the group that he's going to be the one to fight the chieftain brute. Master Chief tells Noble 6 that he's going to be the one to fight the brute. Noble 6 tells the Chief that it's not necessary and that he has this covered. Just before Master Chief could say anything else, the Arbiter hands Noble 6 his energy sword once more, and he simply tells Noble 6 that it's much more honorable to fight the chieftain brute with a melee weapon also. With that, Noble 6 is the first one to exit the building and face the chieftain brute. The rest of the brutes simply stand in a semicircle, awaiting the outcome. Once the duel begins, the Arbiter simply tells Master Chief and Noble 6 to be ready at the end of the battle, since the rest of the brutes will probably start shooting at them and try to kill them as quickly as possible. Master Chief tells the rest of them that he is ready, and Noble 6 simply tells them that he has a plan. After an intense minute of fighting, it quickly becomes obvious that Noble 6 has no difficulties in fighting the chieftain. After a couple of more seconds, he tells Master Chief and the Arbiter to be ready, that he's about to end the fight. Master Chief moves towards the left, and the Arbiter moves towards the right. And after a couple of more swings from the chieftain brute, Noble 6 is able to get behind him and stab him with the Arbiter's energy sword, killing him instantly. As he starts to turn around, the rest of the brutes let out a war cry. Noble 6 simply turns on his speakers and tells them to bring it. The majority of the brutes simply start shooting at Noble 6, and at the last second he activates his armor lock, causing a lot of the shots to simply ricochet or detonate on impact. A couple of the brutes with jetpacks fly towards Master Chief and the Arbiter. After an intense firefight, all of the brutes are dead, and the rest of the mission plays out exactly the same.
Commander.
Johnson, look sharp.
I got it.
No, don't shoot. They mean us no harm. Those units have a priority task.
Oh, yeah?
And what might that be?
I really can't say. Not for sure. But if you allow me to find a terminal closer to yours.
We must keep prepared for those sites.
But what about your construct? Your solution to the flood? With more data,
Barbara's right. We have priorities too. Until we kill Truth, stop the rings from firing, nothing else matters.
Because Noble 6 is still alive in this timeline, the next mission does change a little bit. This time, he would have been the one in charge of taking out the middle generator. Master Chief would have still taken out the third generator, and the elites would have been in charge of taking out the first generator, alongside Sergeant Johnson. It would have been a joint operation. But besides that, the story plays out basically the same. While the elites are trying to deactivate the generator, Sergeant Johnson would have been captured, and the rest of the mission plays out exactly the same as in the original timeline. Sergeant Johnson gets captured, and Miranda tells Master Chief, Noble 6, and the Arbiter that they have to rescue him before the Prophet could activate the Ark. After defeating a small force of Flood and destroying a couple of Scarabs, Master Chief, Noble 6, and the Arbiter finally reach the tower. Once they're in the tower, Miranda asks Master Chief if he is close enough to save Sergeant Johnson, and Master Chief simply says that he's not close enough. Miranda quickly informs Admiral Keyes of the situation and tells him that she will save Sergeant Johnson with a pelican. Admiral Keyes simply tells her not to do something foolish and let Master Chief and Noble 6 handle the situation. But at this point, Miranda had turned off her comms. After a couple of seconds of trying to communicate with Miranda, Admiral Keyes tells Master Chief and Noble 6 to hurry and stop her from doing something foolish and save Sergeant Johnson. Noble 6 is the one that responds this time and simply says yes sir. From there, the rest of the cutscene and level plays out exactly the same. Once Master Chief, Noble 6, and the Arbiter reached the top of the elevator, the Flood would have dropped it down and told them that they would help them stop the Prophet. As for Miranda and Sergeant Johnson, that cutscene does not change at all. Miranda would have still gotten herself killed in the process, and Sergeant Johnson would have been forced to activate the Ark. After killing the Prophet of Truth, the Flood would once again attack Master Chief, the Arbiter, and Noble 6. But because Noble 6 is here, he would have sent twice as many combat forms to try and eliminate them. Seeing how effective the three of them are in eliminating opponents. After Sergeant Johnson escapes with the Pelican and is unable to pick up Master Chief, the Arbiter, and Noble 6, he would have once again told them to find a way out of the tower. After reaching the bottom of the tower, and with the help of visions of Cortana, Master Chief would have discovered the replacement Halo Ring. And after talking with 343 Guilty Spark and saying how he plans on lighting the Halo Ring to stop the Flood, 343 Guilty Spark would once again commence preparations to fire the Halo Ring. The Arbiter would once again asked Master Chief how he plans on lighting the Halo Ring. At this, Noble 6 would have already been staring at High Charity, as Master Chief walks next to him and also stares at High Charity. From there, we can move on to the next mission. For the start of the next mission, it would have been Master Chief and Noble 6 flying on a couple of Banshees to get inside of High Charity. Once they land, instead of Sergeant Johnson telling him what's going on and the plan, it would have been Admiral Keyes. Admiral Keyes would have told Master Chief and Noble 6 that Sergeant Johnson is rounding up the survivors and heading back to the Dawn, and that the Arbiter is doing the same with the elites. Just before Admiral Keyes can continue, Master Chief would have interrupted the conversation and would have said about Commander Keyes. Admiral Keyes would have simply told him that they could grieve about it later, but right now that they have a mission to do, and all of humanity is depending that they succeed on it. He tells Master Chief and Noble 6 to find Cortana so that they're able to eliminate the Flood once and for all. After a long and intense fight inside of High Charity, Master Chief and Noble 6 finally arrive at the location of Cortana. Noble 6 stays at the entrance while Master Chief heads inside to retrieve her. Noble 6 tells Master Chief that he will stay outside to hold off the Flood while he retrieves Cortana. Inside, the cutscene plays out exactly the same, all the way up until the end, where Noble 6 would have entered the room and Cortana would have seen him. Cortana would have said, "You both came." Noble 6 would have simply told her, "I had to help Master Chief keep his promise." From there, Noble 6 tells Master Chief and Cortana that there's a large group of Flood grouping outside the entrance, and that they have to go now. Master Chief then retrieves Cortana, and Noble 6 and Master Chief try to find a way out of High Charity. That is, until the Arbiter tells them that he has come to pick them up and to hurry to his position. From there, Cortana is surprised that all three of them are working together. But the rest of the mission plays out exactly the same, and they are able to escape High Charity. After escaping High Charity and heading towards Alpha Halo, the shipmaster contacts the Arbiter, and he tells him that the rest of the human forces and the elites are already on board and are ready to head back. He tells them if he's not going to go with them, and, as in the original timeline, the Arbiter tells him that this is their fight to finish and he will see it to the end. With that, we see the Strike Force and the elite ships start heading towards the portal. As they are heading towards Alpha Halo, Admiral Keyes contacts Master Chief and the rest of them, and he tells them that he's been informed of their plan and that he will personally see this mission to the end also. Sergeant Johnson interrupts him and tells him that it's too dangerous, that it's not necessary, that he could bring in the frigate close enough and help Master Chief and the rest of them. Admiral Keyes simply tells him that that won't be necessary, that after losing his daughter, he's going to make sure that the Flood never becomes a threat towards humanity ever again. With that, all of them head towards Alpha Halo. The rest of the mission basically plays out exactly the same, all the way up until the point where they are outside of Halo's control room. Here, while Master Chief, the Arbiter, and Noble Six are fighting the Flood forces, Admiral Keyes and Sergeant Johnson would have been on the hill covering them. Admiral Keyes with the sniper rifle, and Sergeant Johnson with the Spartan's laser, as in the original timeline. After eliminating the Flood forces, all of them would have gone inside Halo's control room. As they enter the control room, Sergeant Johnson and Admiral Keyes start walking towards the control panel, and from here most of the cutscene stays exactly the same, all the way up until the point where Sergeant Johnson introduces Cortana into the control panel. Because Admiral Keyes is right next to Sergeant Johnson, Admiral Keyes would have seen how 343 Guilty Spark is about to shoot at Sergeant Johnson, and he throws himself in front of the blast. The blast that was intended for Sergeant Johnson, Admiral Keyes is the one who takes the full blast. After shooting Master Chief, the Arbiter, and Noble Six is the first one to recover and start charging at 343 Guilty Spark. And just as 343 Guilty Spark shoots at Noble Six activates a hologram, distracting 343 Guilty Spark for a couple of seconds. Enough time for Sergeant Johnson to bring up the Spartan's laser and shoot 343 Guilty Spark. The rest of the mission / cutscene plays out exactly the same. He throws the Spartan's laser towards Master Chief, who shoots 343 Guilty Spark, killing him. By the way, 343 Guilty Spark is actually still alive if you haven't read the books. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. As they all recover, Master Chief is the first one to reach Admiral Keyes. As he kneels down, he tells Admiral Keyes that he's going to get him out of there. Admiral Keyes tells him that he knows he doesn't have much time, and that he won't be able to get out of there. With that, he notices Noble Six coming up behind Master Chief. Admiral Keyes tells Noble Six that he's happy he got on board the Pillar of Autumn, back when Breach was falling. He tells him that he knows he would have liked to stay behind and helped Emil against the Covenant, but him being with them during the Battle of Alpha Halo probably changed the course of history in more ways that they could ever understand. Sergeant Johnson arrives at this point, and he tells Admiral Keyes that he failed both the commander and now him. Keyes tells him that it's not his fault, and that he did the best that he could. He also tells him that he still has one mission left, and that is to make sure Noble Six and Master Chief don't get themselves killed. Sergeant Johnson lets out a small laugh and tells him that he'll make sure that they don't do anything reckless. Keyes then turns to Master Chief, and he tells him that Cortana gave humanity a chance to survive, that they probably wouldn't have won the war either way. But with her, humanity could have survived, and it has, and that he has to protect her no matter what. Master Chief simply nods his head. Keyes then tells him that he's tired and that he just wants to rest now. He also tells him that he could hear Miranda's voice. With that, he closes his eyes and passes away. As they escape the control room, Sergeant Johnson tells Master Chief, Noble Six, and the Arbiter that they could take the Warhawk back to the ship. Cortana quickly calculates the distance towards the ship and tells them that it's going to be close, but they could make it. As soon as they get to the Warhawk, they obviously notice the problem. Sergeant Johnson tells them to take the Warhawk and that he'll catch up on foot. Noble Six tells Sergeant Johnson not to be crazy, and he tells the Arbiter to help him. With a little bit of force, they quickly rip off the turret and throw it towards the ground. Master Chief gets on the driver's side, Sergeant Johnson on the passenger, and Noble Six and the Arbiter hold on to the back. With that, the four of them drive towards the ship. Cortana quickly informs them that they have too much weight and at their current speed, they aren't going to make it. Just then, they see an abandoned ghost. Noble Six tells Master Chief to keep driving, and as they pass by the ghost, he jumps off. He quickly gets on the ghost and is driving right behind them. The Arbiter tells Noble Six that he's foolish and he should have let him get in the ghost. Noble Six tells him that it doesn't matter and that they need to leave ASAP. As they are driving towards the ship, everything else plays out exactly the same. As they crash inside the ship, the Arbiter and Sergeant Johnson are sent flying forward next to a Scorpion tank. while Master Chief lands next to a Warhog. A second later, Noble 6 crashes inside with the Ghost. The explosion sends him flying, landing next to Master Chief. As the ship begins to move, Sergeant Johnson and the Arbiter have to run inside the ship as the Scorpion tank is about to crush them. Master Chief and Noble 6 jump over the Warhog. Master Chief quickly turns around and nods to the Arbiter and Sergeant Johnson as they run towards the bridge of the ship. Master Chief quickly puts Cortana inside of a terminal and the ship begins to move. As the ship starts heading towards the portal, a Warhog hits both Master Chief and Noble 6, sending them flying. Master Chief is the first one to recover and is able to grab hold of Noble 6. They are both able to dodge the incoming Scorpion tank, and the rest of the cutscene plays out exactly the same. The final speech that Lord Hood gives does not change at all. It only changes when he is talking to the Arbiter. Instead of saying,
"I can't forgive you, but you have my thanks for standing by him to the end. Hard to believe he's dead."
he would have said, "But you have my thanks for standing by their side until the end. It's hard to believe that they're dead." From there, the rest of the cutscene plays out exactly the same, and the only thing that changes is the last cutscene with Master Chief, Cortana, and obviously Noble 6 still inside the ship. As Cortana is able to wake up Master Chief, he asks her what happened. Cortana informs him, as in the original timeline, of what happened to the ship. He then asks, "What about Noble 6? She tells him that Noble 6 is securing the rest of the ship. The rest of the cutscene plays out exactly the same, all the way up until the end, where Noble 6 reappears and he tells Master Chief and Cortana that he was able to secure what was left of the ship. Master Chief tells him that it's time, as they both head towards cryosleep. Noble 6 is the first one to enter inside of his pod, and Master Chief helps him activate his cryopod. Noble 6 tells Master Chief if he thinks they'll find them. Master Chief tells him that they will, but now it's time to rest. With that, Noble 6 gives a little nod, and Master Chief activates his cryopod. Then, Master Chief enters his cryopod, and the rest of the cutscene plays out exactly the same. Master Chief tells Cortana that if she needs them, to wake them up. And with that, we finish Halo 3.